Back in late February, I posted a video on this avocado when it was getting ready to flower. You can search my channel for that video. I'll also add a link at the end of this video. That video pretty much covers the life cycle of this tree from the time I purchased it back in 2017 up to its last flowering cycle in February of 2020. This will be a follow-up video. Wanted to wait and see if some of these avocados were going to set. They're good size now, and I believe a good amount will likely reach maturity. At least that's what I'm hoping for. They're about the size of a small radish. The tree is doing well. It has healthy looking leaves. There are a good amount of avocados. They're pretty much scattered all over. This tree has been growing in this large wooden container for nearly 18 months now. As with all my trees, I fertilize them on a regular basis. This tree gets fertilized 3 times a year with the citrus fertilizer. The first round is a pre-bloom, a second round after blooming, and a final round in early October. I give them an iron and zinc application in February, then again in July. And once a year I give them a blood meal feed after blooming. In addition, during the growing season, starting in spring, I give all my trees a foliar and compost tea application. I feed them once a month up to around late summer. It's quite a bit of work, but thankfully it's only once a month and only during the growing season. I've been using this fertilizer schedule for a couple of years now, and it seems to be working well. Last year, this tree also produced a large amount of flower buds, but eventually lost them all and I didn't get a single avocado. I don't think it's for lack of nutrients, but rather the tree may have been too young to support a fruit set. Here's what it looked like last year when it had developed flower buds. It had buds all over. The leaves weren't all that healthy looking. It had lost most of its leaves due to cold damage, but it did manage to put out a large amount of flower buds. After blooming, many of these buds started to develop avocados. Once they had reached the size of a pea, it began to drop them all. Here it is in October. By this time, the tree had just about fully recovered from the cold damage. It had put on a good amount of growth and was flush with healthy looking leaves. Although the tree was doing well, not a single fruit had set from the previous bloom. There was a single avocado that reached the size of a radish, but it too eventually fell off. The following year, by late February, once again had put on quite a few flower buds. The leaf damage you see here was caused by some caterpillars that attacked this tree. I sprayed the tree with some neem oil, which seemed to take care of the problem. There's still a little bit of cold damage that you can see on the tips of the leaves, but not a whole lot. It's pretty much close to a full recovery from the cold damage. But as you can see, it's got plenty of flower buds scattered throughout the tree. If this tree does manage to produce a pretty good harvest, it's probably going to stay in that container. I was considering planting it in the ground, but I don't have a whole lot of planting area left in my backyard. I've got quite a few trees growing, and space is a bit limited. So I'm hoping it will be able to put out a pretty good crop, and that way I can just leave it in this container here. It's doing well in this part of the yard. Here it gets a little protection from the wind, and it gets a good amount of sun here. It gets a little bit over 6 hours of direct sun. Then it gets a little bit more filtered sun throughout the day. But it's doing well here. It does seem to like this area, so hopefully I'll be able to leave it here. By late February, some of the flowers had started to bloom. Here it is in early March. You can see that there are several flower buds on this tree. It also has new leaves that are starting to develop. As I previously mentioned on several of my videos, I don't get a lot of bee activity in my yard. In early March, I started to spray the flowers with a honey water mixture, using 1 part honey to 3 parts water. I use this in order to try and attract some bees to the flowers. I sprayed the tree about every 2 or 3 days for about 3 weeks or so while the tree was flowering. The mixture worked well and wound up attracting plenty of pollinators. And now fast forward to the present time, and you can see that quite a few avocados appear to have set. I'm hoping that we'll stay on this tree and reach maturity. I'll be sure to keep you posted and upload a harvest video if and when they do reach full maturity. I've never grown avocados before, but from the research I've done, I found that it could take up to about 9 months for the avocados to reach maturity. So it may be a while before you see another video on this tree. Before ending this video, I'd like to show you my Pitomba tree. It's starting to flower. It's only been in the ground a few months, so I'm not sure if any of these flowers you see here are gonna set any fruit. If it does manage to set fruit within the next few weeks or so, I'll make a video on this tree and show you its progress. Well, that'll be it for now. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Also, don't forget to click on the link below to see the previously uploaded video on the avocado. As always, stay safe, grow your own, and thank you for watching.